All of you, welcome back once again. In this video, I'll give you a complete roadmap for a blockchain developer, which you're going to complete in the next 6 months. And I'm going to highlight the time frame, the topic-wise section, that how much time you have to spend in each one of this topic and what you have to avoid at your initial stage. Because if you're an absolute beginner and if you start focusing on those topics which is not relevant to you, those will be only relevant when you will start working in a bigger project or in the managerial level. So what do you have to avoid? What do you have to focus at your initial stage? So you will save your time, you will grab more of the understanding, and it will be very helpful for you to get into the industry. So that's all we're going to discuss extensively in this particular roadmap. I'm going to highlight the time framework, that what you have to learn in the first week, what you have to learn in the second week, what are the topics you have to cover. So that's all we're going to discuss in this video. So make sure to watch this video till then to understand that what exactly you have to focus if you want to learn blockchain development. With that said, let's come back to the roadmap. So you can see this is the complete roadmap for a blockchain developer, which we're going to follow in the next 6 months. It's absolutely beginner friendly and it will take you to the advanced technology as well. So by the end of the 6 month, you will have a complete understanding about the blockchain, what it is, how you can build a basic dApp, and then you can scale it on top of it. And the reason why I have defined this 6 month for this particular roadmap, because when you have a time and you have to complete something in that particular time duration, you feel pressure. And when you will feel pressure, you give your 100%, you give your time and you give your focus. That's why this time framework is very important, and this is what exactly we're going to consider throughout this entire roadmap when we start learning blockchain development. So the structure which I have defined for this particular roadmap is for the 6 month. So this is the very first month. Altogether, we have 6 months in our hand. This is the first month. We have 4 weeks in every single month. So in one week, we're going to focus in one particular topic. So in the very first week, we're going to focus on blockchain fundamentals and what this technology does. In that, we have to cover these three basic fundamentals. Basics of blockchain, which will include every single thing about the blockchain, that what is blockchain, why it exists. You have to know the historical background. Then you have to learn about the distributed ledger system, that what problem exactly is solved, what was the problem we faced in the past which led to this particular technology. After that, you have to learn about the mechanism, that what kind of mechanism we have. We have POS, we have POW, what it is, what kind of problem we have in each one of this mechanism, what kind of solution we can bring in terms of scalability. So in the very first week, you have to simply make a complete note about the fundamentals about the blockchain. That's the only thing you have to do in the very first week. Once you're done with that, after that, you have to move to the next week of the first month. In that, you have to learn about cryptography and security, because this plays a very huge role when it's come to a blockchain and performing any kind of transaction on the chain and hashing algorithm. This plays a huge role. In that, you have to learn about the cryptography, hashing mechanism. Then you have to learn about the signature and wallet, that how it exactly work when you make any transaction on the blockchain ecosystem, how you generate that hashing algorithm, how it generate the particular signature which going to be relevant to your wallet. So you have to understand about this cryptography and security. I'm not telling you to be master in that, but gather as much information as you can, make a proper note about it. If you try to go into deep, like 1 week is enough for exploring all of this topic. You can simply explore all the concept we have in each one of this model. So that's what you have to do in the second week. Now let's move to the third week. In the third week, you have to learn about blockchain network, that what type of network we have at the moment, public, private, consignment. So you have to learn about each one of this blockchain and its use cases, why we use certain blockchain in certain product, why the company is not using private blockchain instead of using the public one. So you have to understand all this mechanism and you have to know the differences between each one of this network. So that's what you have to learn about it. Make a proper note. After that, you have to learn about the blockchain platform like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Right now, we have more than 50 plus blockchain. So which blockchain you going to pick for your next app? What problem it solve? Because right now, scalability is the huge concern for any kind of application. So right now, all the project which you will find which is coming in the industry, they're all focusing on scalability, because if you want to make any transaction on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, it takes huge amount of time for processing your transaction. Right now they have improved, but it still take time for building a high scalable application. It's not that good. So you have to understand that what kind of project you can build in each one of this chain. So you have to study blockchain platform. That's what you have to do in the third week. Now let's move to the fourth week and the end of this first month. In that, you have to focus on practical experience. That the reason why I have mentioned practical experience, because these are the couple of tools which you're going to use extensively and you're going to learn and you're going to hear a lot when you're going to do your research about the blockchain tab and making any transaction. So you have to know how MetaMask exactly work. What is MetaMask? What is Phantom Wallet? What it does? How you can create a footprint on the blockchain ecosystem for making any transaction with the help of these particular wallets. So you have to know what it is. Then you have to spend some time about the block explorer, like we have Etherscan and SolScan, where you can able to debug the transaction. You can simply take the hash of the transaction, you can put in that, and there you can able to explore that what transaction took place, what are the data is there in the that particular transaction which is on the blockchain. So you can able to explore each one of it in detail, because sometimes when you go to build an application you need certain information from that particular block to trigger any kind of event. So you have to do a little bit research on the scans, like Solana scan, or we have Ether scan, as you can see. So once you complete all of that, you have your node, you have gathered enough information in the very first month about the blockchain, and you can able to talk about it whenever you will heard any terms. So now we have to move to the second month. In the second month, we're going to spend 2 weeks, programming language, foundation, and blockchain. In that, we're going to focus on the programming language, because ultimately we're going to write a contract. If you want to become a smart contract developer, a smart contract auditor, or a smart contract blockchain integrator, you have to know some sort of programming language. Then you can able to perform that task. So you have to know programming language, and that's what we're going to learn in this 2 week. And the reason why I have taken this 2 week, because right now you will have multiple AI tool. So I'm not telling you to go into deep. You can spend your 1 month, 2 month on the deeper topic, but I would suggest you to gather as much information as you can, and important fundamentals. Those are the concepts are very important. Understand the programming language, that how you can write a certain program in certain pattern for certain application. You have to understand the architecture. Once you understand that, you can able to build complex logic. And right now you will find multiple AI tool which will help you to generate the code. That's why I've given less focus on this. I focus more on the logic building. You have two options. You can go with JavaScript, because it's multi-purpose language. You can utilize it in the front end, in the smart contract, or when you're going to make any connection with the blockchain, you're going to fetch the data using the RPC method or any Web3 providers. You will find that most of the provider means most of the libraries which is available at the moment, that's written in JavaScript. So you have to learn JavaScript. And once you gather enough experience, then you can definitely switch back to Python. But I would not suggest you to focus straight away on the Python if you're absolute beginner. Focus on JavaScript, because most of the demand you will find in the JavaScript, and there you can able to have higher chance of getting into the job industry, because Python is highly used for any kind of automation application. When we are building a decentralized trading board, in those things we use the Python. But JavaScript, you can also use it for building some sort of scripting language. You can do that. Then you have to focus on the Solidity. Once you learn JavaScript, Solidity is going to be a piece of cake for you. There is a 80% similarity. The structure is same. The syntax is little different, but the argument which you're going to pass into the function like loop, while loop, if statement, for loop, it's exactly the same. The writing way is different, but it's exactly the same. So focus on Solidity. I would not encourage you to learn Rust and for Solana as a beginner, otherwise you're going to have a lot of confusion. Right now, very few libraries we have at the moment for building a program for using the Solana ecosystem. So I would not encourage you to focus straight away on Solana. Focus on Solidity at the start. Once you get experience, once you understand the fundamental architecture, you can able to switch any moment. But focus on Solidity. Build your foundation in one particular programming language, then try to diversify yourself. That's what you have to do in the 2 weeks. Once you're done with that, after that you have to move to the tools. That right now we have tools, multiple tools we have, multiple framework we have. And these are the some common and popular framework which you will find, which you're going to use when you go to build a app. Like we have Web3.js, Ether.js, EVM compatible chains like Ethereum, Polygon, and Solana. You're going to use a similar tool to interact with the blockchain and making the connection and getting the data. If you are interested in Solana, then you can use this Web3.js is a powerful framework which help you to communicate with the Solana blockchain. So you have to spend some time, understand the models we have in each one of this method, and how we can utilize it to make a function call, to build the RPC and connection, to use the certain function to get the details about the blocks and its transaction, because that's what you're going to utilize in the front end to build a logic. So that's what you have to focus on the third week. Now let's move to the next one. We have to focus on hand-on practice. And the reason why I have included this, because no matter how much you learn, but unless or until if you not do practice, you're going to forget anyway. So you have to do practice constantly whatever you are learning. So we have learned about the toolings like Web3.js, Ether.js, and that's what we're going to utilize it right up here. We're going to simply make the connection and we're going to try to fetch the balance of a wallet. We try to fetch details about the transaction. That's what you have to do in the fourth week. Do practice, build different logic. Once you're done with that, now we come back to the third month. So we have gained the for basic fundamentals of the blockchain. We have a basic understanding about the programming language, toolings, and we have done the practice. Now we're going to move to the third month. In that, we're going to start with smart contracts. So here we're going to focus especially with the smart contract, and we're going to build logic in the smart contract. So in that, you have to master Solidity completely. You have to focus on the syntax, variable, and function, and how you have to construct the smart contract event. What is the event? How are you going to utilize it? What kind of benefits provide? So that's what we're going to focus it. Not on the advanced level, but in the basic level. You have to know these simple tasks. Once you're done with the smart contract, as I told you that once you focus on the JavaScript, your 80% work is already done because it has a similar architecture. That's why I have given 1 week in this particular contract. Once you're done with that, after that, you have to learn advanced concept in Solidity. You have to learn about modifier, inheritance, library, gas optimization. If you want to go more advanced, you can include assembly, which is very good for providing hyper secure system, which I will not encourage you to focus at this moment. That's what we focus when we have to do in the testing and auditing field. So that's what you have to focus on the week 2. So once you're done with that, after that you have to focus on testing and debugging. How to use Remix ID, Hardhat, and Truffle, what it is, how you can utilize this online ID for test your smart contract in your browser, what are the modules is provided. It will help you to understand how test network, local network exactly work. Hardhat is very popular, which help you to write testing modules which you can include and test your contract in multiple way. Even you can fork it. It's exactly the same in Truffle. So these are the powerful tools which you have to utilize it for testing and debugging your contract. Once you're done with that, after that you have to write the unit test, which is the very common one which you will find when you will write your smart contract. That's what you have to do in this third week. Very simple. I have already covered tons of time in the project we have on the channel, so you can easily able to learn from there. I've already explained everything, that how you can use Remix ID, Hardhat, Truffle, and how you can write the unit test in the Uniswap clone project we have built. From there you can simply learn about it. You don't need to be master, just learn, gather information that what exactly is there, what it does exactly. Okay. Once you're done with that, then you have to move to the week 4. In week 4, in that you have to learn about deployment, that how you can deploy your contract. What are the test network we have? When we have to deploy to a specific test network, what are the configuration we have to do in our project? We can use Hardhat, we can use Remix ID for deployment. Test network we have is Rinkiby, Gorilla for Ethereum. Even we have Hostly. If you can go with the Polygon test network like Polygon MOI, Polygon Mumbai, you can use that. And here we have the others. If you are focusing on Solana, Rust, and Anchor, which I would not suggest you to do if you are absolute beginner. Just focus and stick to the EVM compatible chain at your initial stage. Once you're done with that, now we are moving towards the 4th month. In that, we're going to focus on decentralized application. And here you will start actually building real world project. There you're going to combine all the technology, all the knowledge you have gathered in the last 3 months. That's all you're going to utilize building application, decentralized application called dApp, which you have to build. So by this far, you are already familiar with the smart contract. You have already done the practice of smart contract writing. Now you're going to simply integrate that smart contract with the front end using any popular framework like Next.js, React, Angular, or plain JavaScript. You can use any one of that. That's what we're going to integrate with our dApp. And we're going to design the component architecture. So like in Next.js, is very powerful to build your application into a small component. And that's what you have to focus. Where you're going to interact with the backend smart contract, that's what you're going to do it. Here we have the front end. You can pick React, which is a very common one which we use at the moment, but the most popular one we have is the Next.js, which you can simply consider. It's totally up to your choice, and that's all will be possible if you are focusing on Java. I told you that JavaScript is a very popular language. It will help you to combine almost all the technology which you need to know to become a blockchain developer. After this, you have to focus on Web3.js. So you have already learned about Web3.js, that how it's work. Now you're going to make actual connection with a smart contract with your front end, and you're going to fetch out all the information from the blockchain. That's what you're going to do. You're also going to utilize MetaMask. We already learned about MetaMask. You're going to learn about Phantom Wallet if you're focusing on the smart Solana development, but we are sticking to the MetaMask for EVM compatible chain. That's what you're going to utilize it, and that's what you have to do. Once you're done with that, so the two project I must recommend to all of you guys, which we already have on our channel, is the voting dApp and supply chain management. These are the basic but the most advanced concept we have utilized in this particular project, which will help you to understand how this data transferring, how this distributed ledger system exactly work, and how you can manage the data on the blockchain. It's really powerful. So this two project is absolutely must for you to build after completing all of that. Once you're done with that, now come back to the fourth week, in which you have to understand about the test network, and you have to learn about the UI UX as well. Because I believe that you have to know that how you can design a basic front end. Then you can focus on the libraries like Tailwind CSS. We have multiple React framework, component library. You can use plain JavaScript or HTML CSS, but you have to have an understanding about the UI component and how you can build a basic one. I'm not telling you to be master, but be at least good in basics so you can able to adjust the deciding part of your tab. And that's what you have to do in the fourth week. So this is the only thing we have to cover. Now we have to move to the fifth month. In this month, you have to focus on exploring topics, and this is going to be advanced section. So far you have learned almost every single thing. You have gained basic understanding. You have learned about the dApp, integration, smart contract, programming language, and how everything is worked. Now you have to learn about the advanced topic and the libraries we utilize in a regular basis for building softwares. We don't want to write the complete code. Sometimes we have to take other libraries in our smart contract to build functionality on top of that. So in that concept, you have to understand that what is ERC20, what is ERC721, what is ERC1150. You have to understand about the standard and how we utilize it, how tokenized system exactly work on the blockchain. This is very important. You have to learn about it. If you are focusing on Solana, you have to learn about the SPL token, what it is. That's what you have to focus on the topics in the first week. Once you're done with that, after that, go back to the second week, and here you have to learn about the decentralized financial system like AMM. I want you to give me the full form of this particular AMM in the description. There you have to learn how this exchange exactly work, how the swap of the token work, how liquidity work, how automated marketing system exactly work, how you can able to list your token in compared with other token and try to sell in the market. So you have to learn about it. You have to learn about the NFT minting. Like we already have a NFT marketplace in our channel. You can simply start following that particular project, and you can easily able to build that particular project if you follow so far. You have to build NFT marketplace project. You have to build a decentralized chat application. You can build a supply chain management. You have to build a Uniswap clone we have on the channel. So these are the 5 projects which you have to build at this particular section. Once you're done with that, then you have to move to the scalability and solution. As I told you that right now you will find multiple tools, multiple framework. They are coming into the market because there is an opportunity for providing a better product, better service, but due to scalability, there is an issue. A lot of companies are taking initiative in that to building a product on top of it so it can scale the network. There you have to focus and learn about the layer 2 solution, what it is, how it exactly worked, what kind of optimization it has done in the layer 1, and now we have the layer 2, and what types of other layers are coming, what types of extension we have on top of it which we can utilize it. You have to learn about it. You have to learn about the side chain, roll up. These are the important concepts you have to know. It's not a rocket science, but if you try to focus on it, you can easily able to understand the difference between the regular transaction we make and the problem we solve in the layer 2 solution. So that's what you have to focus on. Then come back to the week 4. In that you have to focus on the smart contract vulnerability like redundancy and overflow. This one is the most common problem you will find in most of the smart contract, and most of the newbie will commit this particular mistake when they will write their contract. So you have to learn about all the hacks were done in the past, why the contract was got compromised, and due to that the company lost their fund. So you have to know about the vulnerability in the contract. We have popular framework we can use like Medix, Slater. We have some Python script, Python library. We have hard hat which we can utilize for testing, which you have to focus. That's all come under the security. Now we are entering into the last month of our roadmap. So in the first week, you have to focus on the project. You have to build a real world project. So as I've highlighted here, you have to build a full stack NFT marketplace project, which we already have on our channel. And that's what you have to build. Build from start to end, build a smart contract, build a front end, integrate, build the back end, and launch it. Because in this month, we're going to focus only on building your project. Focusing on building project. We have the ICO platform, like how you can able to sell your token, that platform. We already have a project on that, so you can build that. Now we can move to the real world project. As I told you that we're going to focus on decentralized voting dApp, DeFi staking dApp. These projects already exist on our channel. You can focus on that. Now come back to the third. There you have to focus on hackathon and learn from other collaborators, because this one is help you. It's actually an optional one, but when you will do this, it will help you to get yourself into the industry. You can able to make you will meet similar people. You will understand that what exactly going on in the industry. You can't simply sit and learn and you don't have any idea that what exactly happening in the industry. So when you go to this kind of hackathons, it will help you to understand the market, that what kind of tools are coming on, what kind of projects are coming on, and it will keep you updated. And that's how you can make the connection to get a job, to get an internship. So you have to participate in every single event. At least go there and try to understand what exactly happening and what the companies are working on. Now in the last week, I'm promoting your project. So whatever project you have built, whatever you have learned, whatever documents you have made, whatever notes you have developed, whatever concept you have built, that's all you have to explain. You don't need to sit at home and just think that you learn the blockchain development. That's not the thing you have to do. You have to go into the marketplace. You have to knock every single company. Just go and post your profile that this is what I have, this is what I think about this particular project, this is what I have built, and this is the problem it solved. That's what you have to do. You have to promote yourself. You have to market yourself. LinkedIn is a great platform. YouTube is a great platform. Twitter is a great platform. You can utilize this platform to market yourself and find similar type of people. So this is a complete roadmap for a blockchain developer for the next 6 months. We have defined the time frame. We have defined the topics which you have to cover. I hope you guys have understood that what exactly you have to do. I don't want to extend this video. So this is what you have to do. Again, I'm going to provide you this PDF so you can simply download and you can refer that. If you do this honestly for the next 6 months, if you give your dedicated 2 to 3 hours, you can easily able to complete it. Or if you give more than that, if you're a student, then you can easily able to wrap this entire roadmap within like 2 months or 3 months. You can do that very easily. But this is the extended time I have taken. So I believe that you guys have other work and you're going to give 2 hours to 3 hours on this particular one. So do this, follow this for the next 6 months, build project, whatever we have mentioned. You're going to have a complete understanding about the blockchain technology, and that's how you're going to build your foundation and get yourself present in the industry. So that's the only thing from my end. I hope you guys have understood that what you have to do and how you have to start your 25, which is going to be end in the next 6 days. So that's the only thing from my end. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.